Well, there's things that the Prophet did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that are makruh to do, but he did them to show that they weren't haram. No, not in a sighat al-amr. Yeah. Unless it's in a negation. لا تفعلوا. Normally, لا تفعلوا, if it's an amr, it's for the tahrim, but not always. Do you see what I mean? So the amr can be for makruh, but it's with the negation. Yeah. Oh, that's a good. Yeah, no, that's an interesting example. That Ata radiyallahu anhu considered it makruh, but he derived it not from the amr. Yeah, that's a good example. Ata radiyallahu anhu, Qadi Abu Bakr ibn al-Arabi in Ahkam al-Quran says about that Ata, from min diqqati fiqhihi, استخرج كراهية الضرب. But he took it from a hadith, which is لا تضربوا إماء الله. Don't strike the maidservants of Allah. And in another one he said أكره أن يضرب أحدكم أهله ثم يضاجعها في آخر النهار. It's distasteful to me that one of you should strike a maidservant and then sleep with her at the end of the day. In other words, there's an incompatibility with intimacy, love and intimacy, and with violence. I mean, that's pretty much what the Prophet ﷺ was saying. So Ata understood that even though it says وَضْرِبُهُنَّ to strike them, it's really tap them, because darb can be a tap. Like in tayammum, they call it darbat al-ula wa thaniya, and it's a tap. So darb doesn't just mean hit, it can mean tap in Arabic, and it's closer to, it's like a slap on the, I mean, you see it in films and things. Yeah, you see those films where the woman's hysterical and the man like slaps her and suddenly she's like normal. It's that is basically, that's the extent of what was possible. But the idea of violence being associated with that is totally haram. Nobody's ever in the history of Islam said that domestic violence was unacceptable. Nobody in the history of Islam. I don't know any alim who's ever said that you can beat a woman, beat her. Nobody. All of them, even Ibn Abbas, I mean, if you look, his thing about the miswak is a clear indication that they all had problems with the verse. It's like, this can't mean, because the purpose of a home is sakina, litaskunu ilayha. The purpose of marriage is that you protect a woman. So if you become the source of her fear, something's gone deeply wrong. Yeah. Yeah, if لا يسأل رجل عن ضرب امرأتي, that's true. But if you look, that hadith, which is in Aridat al-Ahwadi, Qadi Abu Bakr's commentary of Tirmidhi, if you look at his commentary on that, if you look at the Al-Aun al-Ma'bud, which is Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he says the meaning of that is لا يسأل عن ضرب امرأته, a man's not asked about hitting his wife after it's happened, if people hear about it, because it would lead to backbiting against her. So it's to protect the woman. So, because if you ask, why'd you hit her? And you say, oh, because she did this, that, or the other, he's exposing her faults. That's what it meant. People misunderstand this religion. I mean, that's why you need ulama. I mean, if you don't have ulama. A story of what? The hijab? Oh, Ayub, Job. Yeah, Job. So he hits her with the twig. Yeah. Yeah, he took 100 and bound them together. And they were grass. It was grass. Just to get out of the nadar. Yeah. It was grass, which is very soft. Yeah. No, it's very clear. I mean, it's just outrageous that any Muslims could argue domestic violence. It's outrageous. Yeah. Exactly. No, it's really, it's very troubling. The Prophet never hit a woman or a child or a servant, ever. لم يضرب رسول الله امرأة ولا ولدا ولا غلاما قط. I mean, it's emphasized. Ever. He never hit. And وَلَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ إِسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. You know, you have in him the best example. I mean, he's the best example. And he said, لَنْ يَضْرِبَ خِيَارُكُمْ. The best amongst you would never strike a woman. I mean, he said that it's something low. He said, مَا رَأَيْتُ أَمْلَكَ لِذِي لُبٍّ مِّن كُنَّ. I haven't seen any creatures more possessive of a man of intellect than you women. أَمْلَكَ مِن كُنَّ لِذِي لُبٍّ. Somebody who has intellect. If you and so somebody that doesn't have intellect is like a beast. They control women. But people that are sensitive, people that have intellect, tend to be controlled by women. You know, that's more their nature, is to submit to the and that's the way the Prophet ﷺ was. That he irda'u nisa'ihi was very important to him, to make sure that they were happy.